I mean, it tastes okay, you know? It's not the best coffee I've ever tried, but it's something, so. Why, hello there again, my blood pumping ventricles, and from the title, well, it's pretty obvious that I am going to be, what is that sound? I don't know what that sound is outside. I hope you're not hearing it. Am I recording? Oh yes, I am. Okay, so from the title, you know that I will be selling my mom's and my clothes. Was my English right? I feel like my English was wrong in a lot of shapes, ways, and forms. But we're gonna be selling clothes because from my previous video, we did do a little bit of decluttering in my mom's room, which is honestly sort of like the place where we just dump everything that we don't want anymore. So, I mean, I am guilty for putting clothes in there that I don't actually use anymore. So now we're gonna be selling them. This is not gonna be a huge selling my clothes type of video because it's really not. I don't have much clothes. It's, you know, it's that, but I think it's just interesting to make a video about this in case someday you might be selling your clothes, or maybe you just finished decluttering and you don't know where to put your clothes. The answer is sell them. If you're wondering, it's just the bank's life. Oh, that looks sad and bad. But ever since I had bangs, these came in handy. It's just a thing. Also, I popped it. It looks like I have a big red dot on my face, more of like a ladybug, but there's that. So now we're gonna start. So first of all, here are the things that you will be needing. So I already did lay out my clothes. Well, it would be really helpful if you have a clothing rack, but I don't have one, and my cabinet is literally just one door, so there really is no point trying to make everything fit in there. So what I did is I laid them down so that I could categorize which ones are dresses, which ones are just normal tops, which ones are shorts, skirts, etc, 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 so that later it'll be very efficient to put them on and take photos of them. So, you know, that's basically it. And also I'm going to be using my mom's phone, not my phone, because my mom has a better phone than mine, so we gotta take advantage of the specs, right? So I'm gonna be using my mom's phone, and you might also want a tripod, or if you don't have a tripod, you can just get a chair or a table and then put your phone in there. I'm also gonna be shooting them in square because that's kind of the base type of photo shape for a bunch of e-commerce websites, right? So it's a square so that I don't have to crop everything out later on. So that's essentially pretty much all you're gonna need. I hope so. It's just the clothes you're selling and something to take pictures. Well, maybe a laptop, but I mean a phone is okay, right? I guess. But I'm getting way ahead of myself. But now let's go to the taking photos of the clothes. So as you can see, I am already wearing my pants. Don't mind my slippers. I love my slippers. But I'm already wearing my pants because I find that taking photos of tops is easier to do at first. I guess so. So that's what we're gonna do. Just a little tip, when you are going to try on the clothes, always look at the color, because you don't want to have your top that you're selling in the same color with your bottoms, because usually you can't see where the clothing starts or ends and things like that. So for my case, everything is either black, white, or yellow, or maybe some type of neutrals. These pants are going to suffice. Also, you can also, I keep saying also, furthermore, linguists are shaking. Do you actually call them linguists? Hey Google, what are linguists? Hey Google, stop. So Google didn't really help with letting me know if linguists are a real thing, but I'm pretty sure they are. I mean, I hope they are. That would be quite embarrassing if that's not a real word. But furthermore, you can also wear your favorite pairs of pants so that you know that it looks good on you and you're comfortable wearing them and modeling them. So it helps. It just helps with the moral support and all that stuff, because maybe you're doing it alone, you need moral support when you're modeling, especially for people with very awkward bodies. So we have that. I'm moving my hands a lot today and I do not understand why. Okay, moving on. So this will pretty much be my setup. So I have my mom's phone over here, and then I have my very simple backdrop. When it comes to looking at photos, well, I personally think that really sort of busy backdrops don't really appeal much to me. So as much as possible, since I don't have a plain white backdrop or any sort of green screen in my house whatsoever, thank you for beeping. But I just pretty much look for the least busy and chaotic part of my room, which is usually this part. Also, I was gonna say something, but I kind of forgot what. So now we're gonna try to put the first one and then take some photos, and we'll see. Guys, can you just be quiet while I'm filming, please? But we will just see how it goes. Hopefully it's fun and it succeeds and it's not a fail and I'm not very awkward when I try to post, but there's that. Okay, so this is our first outfit, well, more of item that we're selling. This is just a very normal white top, but it is Tommy Hilfiger. I bought this when we were in Australia and it was the Boxing Day sale. A lot of Australians would relate, although I don't think Australians actually watch my videos. But it's okay. I did use it as much as I could, but I just don't personally like the neck, and I didn't even think of that when I bought this thing, hoping someone actually would like this piece of item. So usually I'll try to take a photo of it on like a full type of photo first, and then I'm gonna try to style it, which is what Ashley, aka Best Dressed, recommended. So let's try it. That felt like a school ID picture. Not that great. I also feel bad that I didn't iron it out, so now it looks kind of weird, but I hope it's still appealing to at least one person out of 1,000. You know, you can also play with your hands. That's why I keep moving my hands for the past, I don't know how many minutes. And then now comes the styling. So for this one, I usually put it over here and then inhale, and then there we go. I don't like showing my face because it's really weird, so I try as much as possible to cut it on the neck so that I don't feel weird looking at my photos. For items that are sort of items that have nice brands, I try to, for example, if they have the Tommy Hilfiger flag in the front, I would try to showcase that, you know? Now for very certain pieces of... So there are a lot of pieces of clothing that are in different styles and all that jazz. So a lot of people might be wondering, so I have to change my undergarments very so often? Well, no, not really. To make your life easier, just wear a strapless bra that is your skin tone color or your nude color. I don't know how to explain it, but that helps quite a lot. Just a tip, if you want it. If you don't, then fine, you know? Okay, now is going to be the day where we actually list. I was supposed to do this yesterday, but I got lazy and I had a class/meeting. I'm never sure what to call it, but right now we are going to list everything because I need to get this done by today, because then I need to edit this video or else there will be no video this week. So there's that. So essentially when I would list everything, well, I use Shopee if you guys are wondering where I sell my clothes. I just think that it's easier because they handle the payments, the logistics, etc, etc. I really don't mind paying transaction fee as long as my life is easier and things like that. So when I'm going to list my clothes, I always have a measuring tape measure. I never know which one is right, but I always have this so that I could measure certain parts of the clothing, especially for bottoms, because a lot of customers, well, most probably all customers would want to know the waist size to determine if it actually fits them or not. I think that the more detailed you are with giving information to your customers, the more customers are likely to buy it because they have an idea of if it'll fit them, how it'll look in their body, if it's the right size for them, and all of those things. So I guess it adds to the appeal, you know? So here's essentially the whole process of listing the particular items. So first of all, because Shopee, I believe, has this 2.1 MB limit on the photos, I usually have to compress the photos or make them into a smaller file size, and for that I use WeCompress. So it's free, and also to save me a lot of time, I go through all the photos that I have. So this might take a while if you are going to sell a bunch of clothes. So I would go through all of the photos and then pick out only which ones I would like to post. It might save you some time. If you don't want to do it, then that would be fine. So after that, I would go ahead on Shopee. They have this Shopee seller center type of place, and I would just press on add new product, and then after that I'm going to put a product name, but don't worry, you can always change the product name and put the right category, because if it's not in the right category, a lot of people might not be able to find it, so make sure you do that. I'm going to put a bunch of things in the description box, for example, the brand, the size, the color, condition, so is it good as new, is it a little old, are there certain imperfections in the piece of clothing, like is it missing a button or something like that. Be sure to always put that, because if you do not disclose with the customer a certain flaw with the item, then they will return it. Been there, done that. It did not end well. After that, I would also go ahead and put the measurement. So for the measurement, that's what the tape measure is for. So it's important to put as much information in the product description, and it's okay if it's redundant in the other specifications that Shopee is asking for. After putting a ton of product description, I would go ahead, put the brand and all that. And for the price, I know there is a right way to do it, like depreciation of the particular item, but let's face it, guys, are you really that diligent to compute the depreciation of every single piece of clothing you're gonna sell? I wouldn't want to do that. So personally, I like to make the piece of clothing affordable for a lot of people, especially if it's just, you know, basic brands like H&M or Zalora or some other brands. After that, I'm gonna pick a photo that has already been compressed, etc., etc. Make sure that your cover photo is the best photo of the product, because your cover photo is sort of your thumbnail. If the thumbnail is not pretty, then will people buy it or click on it? Most probably not. So make sure it's pretty, and then you save and publish, and it's done. And you just have to do that a bunch of times until all of your items are out there in the Shopee world, and that's pretty much it. Good morning, sunshine! Good morning, everyone! Today is going to be shipping day! I genuinely did not expect anyone to buy any of the pieces of clothing this early, but surprise! Somebody bought. Well, actually there are 3 people who bought, and that's a total of 5 pieces of clothing. So I'm still processing. I am grateful that there are people who actually bought, but today I'm going to bring you along the process of how I, in a way, ship the items. Well, I don't ship them, because if you are a merchant or seller in Shopee, they sort of handle the logistics for you. So when you receive an order, you usually just press the button of arrange pickup or arrange shipment, and essentially Shopee, with all of their system and things like that, just arranges the pickup with a courier, and then they just pick it up at your address or at your doorstep, and that is pretty much it. So right now I'm going to show you the process of preparing everything before I get it sent to other people. By the way, you know what? I also kind of just woke up about an hour ago. My brain is still kind of loading, so bear with me. Now, when I do start preparing for an order, I like to do them order per order, because we will also be printing the waybill numbers, etc., etc. So you want to make sure that your customer gets the right order. I start with the first order, so I look at that, and then when I get a summary of everything they ordered, I get it out of my container, lay them down at the bed, and then I do run a lint roller over them, because I have a dog. I want to make sure that when a customer gets their order, Churras's hair is not on their clothes, because that would be catastrophic. Now after that, I will also wrap it in manila paper. I do prefer parchment paper, but we're just gonna use this manila paper because it was the only one I found at home. So there's that. And then I also made these things. You know, when you're in high school or maybe grade school, you know those kids who always has scented paper in their bags? I was one of those kids. Therefore, I have these decorative types of paper. And all I'm gonna do with these is put a note like, thank you from the bottom of my hypothalamus, and then I'm just gonna put my name. And I know it's kind of weird. I mean, I don't need to put my name, but you know, just so that it's a bit more personal to whoever the customer is. And then I am going to put it on the wrapped piece of clothing and manila paper and then put it inside the shipping bag. After that, I am going to print the waybill number, which is also included in Shopee, and then I'll paste it on the bag, and then I'm just gonna do that a couple of times, and then there we have it. Hi guys, I'm done packaging everything. Here's the 3 of them. Now all I have to do is go down to the guardhouse or the gate when the Kuya delivery arrives, and that is pretty much it. So you see guys, it is very easy to sell your clothes. If you want to, you can go ahead. I really thank you guys for watching this video. I don't know if it's very interesting. I personally find it interesting, but then that is, again, very subjective, not the objective truth. But if you guys find this, you know, something that you would want to watch, my dog is scratching the door, but if you find this something that you like to watch, then just let me know so that I can make more videos like these. I will see you again next week for another video, and I love you guys from the very bottom of my hypothalamus. Now my dog is gone. She was knocking a while ago, but then now she's gone. I'm slightly confused.